Director Brian Clarhaut. Whenever you're ready.
I'll do it. First of all, just kind of how was your week off, and maybe just how beneficial was it for you and the guys to get some sun?
It was good. I was in New Jersey. Brother had a baby shower, so I got to see the family for a few days. Which is always important. I think that 3-game match week starting with San Antonio was a lot of work for the coaching staff, but also for our players on their bodies physically. So I think it was a well-deserved week off, a few days off, not even a week, for these guys because we brought them back into trainings. So it was beneficial for everyone to get a fresh start going into this next stretch now.
Obviously, big news yesterday was the signing of Jose. Just kind of if you could talk about a little bit what he brings to the team, and then do you expect him to be available to go on Saturday?
Yeah, we've had some injuries in that situation, and we've seen with this 3-game stretch that Bensay and Eric McHugh have gone through a lot physically. And to be quite honest, we'd have to shuffle the lineup a bit if something were to happen to them. So we thought this adding another central back while we're waiting for Yuma to get healthy was vital for us. Good player, experienced player, a guy that fits into our team culturally. From Spain, has been tested in Slovakia and League of Ireland, so not a guy that's afraid to travel and experience different types of football, different types of cultures. So he's fit in right away. Seems like he's been here since January. We're got to wait on a few things. We'll see what his availability is come this weekend.
Just on the topic of that position, how's Yuma doing in his recovery right now?
No, he's good. I think he's on the field. He's getting into football now on the pitch, starting to move the ball. So he's progressing well.
Obviously, you guys are in such a good leg of form right now. How do you kind of keep that up? Because it is a long season and there's still a lot of games to play.
Yeah, you just focus on the next game and try to keep. Our standards are to win each game, so that's the objective and that's the message. And each game, whether we're successful, whether we're not, we try to improve it and try to get better. So just keeping those standards at a high ceiling, moving forward.
Brian, you gave an update on Yuma. Any update on Petar?
Yeah, he was back in training today. He's training and he's fine. We got to look at his fitness levels a bit, but he was in full training today, so he's ready to go.
Took my question, Joe. New Mexico United is a team you saw. I mean, not that long ago, but things have kind of changed seemingly quite a bit for them. Just watching their matches the last couple of weeks since you last played them, have they looked any different with a new manager?
Yeah, new coach there. Trying to do a few different things, so it'll be a bit of a different game. We're going to go into it in more detail this afternoon with the opposition report. But from what I've seen, I haven't locked myself in a room that I normally do against the opposition. But what I've seen on TV when I watch them live, there's a bit differences, and they're coming off a good result from this past weekend.
What do you think about this triple-digit heat out here in El Paso?
Well, I'd rather be here than in San Antonio with that humidity. So, no, it's hot. We're training early and it's manageable. So it's not easy, but it's okay.
Hey, Coach, doing something on Denys. What does he bring to the team? What has he kind of done for you?
Yeah, he's a bit different type of player, right? He's in a unique role in our system of how we play, and it's a really challenging role. It's not an easy role to play. You got to be a master of space, as I call it. And he's a guy that is good on the ball. He can beat players individually. He's a guy that's not afraid to shoot, and he's been a part of 3 game-winning goals. San Diego, New Mexico, and then our previous one. So he's a guy that can change the outcomes of games, and it's always important. Successful teams have those guys, so he's an X factor for us.
You get a feeling he's having extra challenges with kind of keeping his focus with everything that's going on back in his home?
Oh, I'm sure it's not easy. I'm sure it's something always in the back of your mind. He doesn't show it while he's here. He focuses on his football, but I'm sure, you're far away from home. His family is obviously over there, so it's always a thing on the back of your mind, making sure that your family's okay, that your family's safe. So I'm sure it's not the easiest moment for him in his life right now.
Talking about Denys, last game he kind of acknowledged that he's aware that sometimes he shoots too much and his teammates kind of give him a hard time about that. What are your thoughts on that decision making by Denys?
If you don't shoot, you don't score. That's what I said to the boys today. Listen, we got to pick our moments. And decision making is always up to the player. My job is to get them to a certain point, and that's why they get paid. That's why they're professional athletes to do this. Now we'll look at certain situations. I'll grab Denys on videos where I think, okay, at this moment we need to keep possession in the opponent's half, maybe a bit longer. This moment, maybe we have a free player here, but at the same time, I don't want to limit him into not doing what he does well. Because that's one of the reasons why we were able to take a point against Tampa. And so for me, I encourage it.
Eric was up here before you talking about being a new dad. You talked about how he's obviously has a little more responsibility now. Have you seen maybe his play the last couple of weeks? Has that represented kind of how he's feeling in that regard?
What, his fatigue from not sleeping? No, I think it's always a good maturity when you become a father. Now, I think he's been a leader since day one, since I've got here. And I think moving forward, him being a father and him having to take more responsibility will just add more to his character and more to his maturity. So to answer your question, I think it's the same Eric, but I think it will grow up even more so and have more responsibilities on his shoulders. And I think it's a fantastic thing for him to be a father. I think it's the best feeling in the world.
Did you give him any advice on being a father?
I gave him some. I'm a coach here, and I'm a husband and father at home. So I put the coach hat on, and I just gave him some advice how to get as much sleep as possible so he can perform at his best while he's here, because I didn't want that to affect his play. So we had some conversations about that. Maybe I'll have to text his wife and make sure things are going to plan. But so far the energy levels have been good from him.
4 of the guys on the team are taking Spanish lessons. How's your Spanish going? And are you tempted to jump in on one of the classes, maybe a few?
¿Cómo? No, my español is a poquito, I think I've had to be involved in different clubs and learn different languages. And sometimes being here, it's I kind of just, these words come out of left field for me, from the Univision days when I grew up. I would like to learn Spanish. I think it's part of our culture here in the city and in our club. We'll see if I have time to do that in the future, but I would like to take Spanish lessons. So if there's anyone out there that would like to assist me, let me know. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thanks.